Hello, my name is Trevor Zoller. This is my demonstrative speech. The project goals for the 5K is to raise at least $2,500 for the water crisis. Now, I was thinking of a smaller goal around 1,000, but I think that's just a little bit too small for this, and I think we could do a lot better if we have a lot of cooperation and everything basically works out well. But at least 2,500 is a reasonable goal. And then ultimately, just to bring awareness to the water crisis, because that's what really matters with this project, is to raise money, yes, but also to inform people that the water crisis is a thing. And why bring awareness to this? Well, I mean, plain and simple, water is just the basic need for human life. Like you can't even go 10 days without it. Like 10 days is really pushing it for a lot of people, as long as you can go. And I mean, like personally here in America, we never have to worry about water. Like I have a water bottle over here in my backpack. Like I never have to worry about where my water is coming from, whether or not it's clean. But a lot of people that are affected by the water crisis have to worry about this daily, and that's not something, especially people our age, should have to worry about. And we also don't want it to get worse, because it's continuously getting worse, because the percentage of water that's actually drinkable is getting lower and lower as time goes on. Now, this is just some statistics from the Water Crisis Project website. It's in the references. 884 million people around the world are without water. Like they don't have access to clean water. And that's about 11% of the world's population. And currently, that's standing in 2017, we're at 7.6 billion people. And then 2.3 billion people are without better sanitation. That's just like general sanitation, like I know sanitation like rules and stuff like that, laws like we have here. Like, you know, everything has to be clean to a certain extent. And a lot of places in the world don't have access to that. They don't have people for that. That's about 30% of the world's population, which is crazy when you think about billions. Like 2.3 billion people, so many people. So this is the game plan. We pick and communicate. We need to pick who we're going to use for this, like who we're going to donate to, so that they can basically, you know, work on it and give water to people that need it. And we need to communicate to them. We need to figure out, like, you know, what needs to get done, how we can give them the money we get donated to us for this particular thing. And then we have to advertise. For advertising, it's going to take a lot of cooperation from the class, because we're going to need people like in the gyms. Like if you work at the fitness center here, it'd be great to like basically advertise it there to have people donate. The GSU, I see the student government always in there for doing stuff like that in other clubs. And I was thinking that we go to high traffic areas for basically runners and walkers, like parks, you know, like Coonskin or something like that, or other gyms like the Y. And like advertising it there, because that's the target audience we're wanting to get as runners, because those are people who will understand, you know, what it's like to be really dehydrated. As you know, I know for myself from experience, because I used to be a runner. I still am, just don't run in school because that's terrible. But anyway, like, you know, if you were a runner, you understand what it's like to basically be dehydrated. And after a race, you're just like, oh, thank God I can have some water. For some people in other countries, that's not the case. And then, of course, at the 5K, I was thinking we're going to have a tent set up, you know, lots of water. And I ask people, like, whenever they take a water, it's like, what if you weren't able to have that water and stuff like that? And sort of not really guilt trip them, but maybe guilt trip them just a little bit into donating, because this is a problem and it might even affect us in the future. And how we'll do this, we're going to need a lot of support from the class and the school altogether. Like a lot of people's got to be in on it, and also money to like make flyers to get the tent and stuff like that to buy all the water, because we're going to get a pretty large sum of water. So, and then for constraints, really the only constraints I see, probably the biggest one is cooperation, because that's, you know, teamwork makes the dream work, and that's actually very true, especially with projects like these. Like, it takes a lot of cooperation for stuff like this to be effective. And a lot of cooperation from the class is going to be very helpful for this. And also money will be helpful to sort of make things go along, but ultimately finding the right charity will be very important, and then cooperation with the charity and cooperation with the class will be equally as important, maybe even more. And these are my references for the water crisis. And so that was my presentation. Thank you.